what's important to me, I would say my mental health.
Homelessness.
Yeah, really health issues.
Because I have
I've been homeless now for the past 20 odd years now, due to suffering major mental health, schizophrenia. It was a choice of mine because my family couldn't accept me at that time, and still to this day they don't really accept me for who I am now. I didn't have the proper services, didn't have the proper treatment, and it was very much alone. Australia really do need a legislation, and we do need our human rights protected and maintained. Yeah, we don't have our rights protected, you know, and that's really, really sad for Australia, you know, like we're the only Western country that does not have this in place, and that's for where we are today. Like, we're not in the 1700s, you know, we're in the 21st century. We'll never eradicate homelessness, obviously, you know, it will always be an issue, but if we can minimise it, it'd be great. To protect people's rights is to listen more, take notice of the individual, and if the government starts responding and taking more notice, hopefully, you know, we can get out of this problem.
Everyone's meant to be equal.
Yeah, so equal rights.
Equal rights, which we aren't.
So being discriminated against on the
Yes,
basis of homelessness?
Yep, not just homelessness, but drugs, or whatever you're suffering from. Here's a case, mental illness. Like, there's a lot of us that most probably are suffering from some sort of mental illness. Now that we've been on the street for so long, right? And because of the fact of the constant being put down, being literally, every time we take 2 steps up, we're getting ripped down 6.
Currently, I'm living in a crisis accommodation, which is Salvation Army Open Door in North Melbourne there, and well, it's a roof overhead, but it's not adequate. There should be more public housing going up, and not being on a list for 5 or 6 or 10 or 15 years. You know, that's really hard. You know, that's where I am at. You know, like, I've been on the list for on and off for the last 15 years.
When I moved out and went onto the street, I got told, oh yeah, 6 to 12 months you'll have your own property, Department of Housing. I said, oh yes, sweet, not a problem, put my name down. I'm still waiting in New South Wales for the place. And that's after 15, 16 years. Doesn't matter where you go in this country, if you're homeless, a lot of these services will just wipe you. And they will just wipe you. Oh yeah, he's homeless, he's no good with his money, he's no good with this, he's no good with that. But yeah, all this does is put into our minds that we're not any good. So what does that do? It lowers our self-esteem, our self-confidence to the point of where we just give up.
There's a chap that I was helping, and he had a couple of children, and where he is in the rooming house, he's got to put a bunk bed up there, and they're stuck in this little one room, and he's been on the housing list for the last 10 years.
I lived in the rooming house, just a bed sitter with a kitchen and shower and toilet, and they refused me that many times, and I appealed against it. They said to me, to be honest, I got to wait 18 months, and it's just a matter of time, waiting, just to get in, to move in South Melbourne, I'll be waiting 20 odd years.
And you can't get a flat for less than so much a week. You end up with nothing, and you've got to buy the cheapest food, make it last, and no money for anything else.
16 weeks without payment from someone.
16 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, people wonder why people beg. Everyone kind of assumes it's for one reason or the other. But when Centrelink cuts you off, what alternative do you have?
Because I didn't have a proper home address where Centrelink couldn't get in contact with me, I got breached in many ways. Because they'd send a mail out, where they're sending it to. I'm telling them on the streets. And a lot of these services, I'd go to say, okay, we send it here, all right? And I go to that service. There's nothing there because I hadn't been there for a week or so the mail got chucked out.
Coppers have got one set of rights, whereas we've got something else. Okay, they are always above us.
Yeah.
No matter whether or not you're an innocent person like yourselves, or whether or not you're like they automatically assume that we are, which is full on crims.
Yeah.
All that they think that we do is because other people go out and commit these crimes that are actually got homes, that have got places, right? They go out and commit these crimes, and yet we're the ones that cop the rain every single time.
When you say you're not the law, you're only here to uphold the law, well, that's when they jump on you, mate. They don't do that stuff, because they know they're protected by their bloody colours, understand?
And badge.
You don't know how rotten some... Mate, in my life, I've met maybe half a dozen good ones.
Well, the worst police experience I've ever had was in Australia when me and this girl got attacked by this guy and thrown in the Yarra. And I had to swim across the Yarra, and I'm screaming, help me get out. Everyone was looking at me like I was a bit stupid. I got out, and the police, the guy stole the girl's guitar and her bag, ran off. We were screaming, catch this guy, get him. And the police just stood around and got me. And I'd been drinking that day, but I wasn't aggressive. I was just a bit wired because of what had just happened.
Sure.
But as soon as they asked the questions, the girl, the female officer came back and she went, they're all the same. She'd obviously spoke to the girl, like they're all the same, something like that. That annoyed me, but then when they asked my address and I said no, fix the button, she scoffed as if to say, well, that solves it. They arrested me for drunk in public, which is one of the most stupidest charges I've ever heard of. On a Friday night, everybody's drinking in public. But if you look like me, you get arrested. But if you've got a suit on and a flute of champagne, they'll walk past you.
Not just discrimination, it's like you're looked on straight away as a
stereotype?
Yeah.
Profile,
you straight away. Oh yeah, you're a crim because you're on the street. Or you're a crim because you're a drugger.
It was good just to sit back in a group that sort of knew where we were coming from with the human rights and try and make them more aware of the rights they've got. And asked them how they thought it went, and they loved it. They really thought it was, they actually got their point of view, well, I should say their point across, and they were actually getting heard for a change and not just pushed in the back. Just because you're homeless doesn't mean you should be left out. You do mean something in the community.